saw the numbers and I started theory crafting how high those numbers could go, I knew deep down in my heart that being a normal, well-adjusted human being was gonna be an uphill battle. So we all have our own forever games or gaming canon events that serve as our own benchmark, and it could be any game. It could be a game close to your heart. It could be a game you played when you were a kid. It could be the game that you play the most now. Normies have NBA and FIFA. Crayon eaters have Call of Duty.
No, you don't. Don't play it then. I'll play the VR.
Battlefield has a bunch of dads trying to keep the crayon eaters away.
I see people talking about like, Battlefield doesn't need to be VR. Can you guys just let us have one that like BRs? Like, I mean, dude.
Blizzard developers have World of Warcraft. The entirety of Eastern Europe has Counter-Strike. Furries have TF2.
Oh fuck, okay. Oh, I didn't know I had that mod on.
And assholes like me have Dota 2. And unfortunately, whether I like it or not, consciously or subconsciously, I view all other games that I play through the lens of Dota, even if those games aren't even necessarily in the same game genre. All too often, I scoff whenever I hear another gamer losing their goddamn mind whenever they're losing a game. It could be a guy getting no-scoped in Call of Duty. It could be a guy complaining about Bucky in Marvel Rivals. And all too often, I hear them complaining about being stuck in the
for a second day in a row. I probably should go take a bath again. Alright. And I probably should have gone taken a bath a little while back. Okay, first and foremost, let's clear up with that. One level. And then let's go for this.
Good evening and welcome. I'm Bernice, and I'll be serving you today. What can I get for you? A drink? Some snacks? Oh, a little flames! Mocktails, mixers, eyes. The snacks are real nice. Sodas, sound mix dry. I'm lit, you can't deny. Wherever you want, wherever you need. So good you never, ever want to leave. Anything that you desire, set it on fire. I'll make you spend your days all away. That's my desire. You know I'm doing like the same. 3, 2, 1, fire! Furnace, go, go! Furnace, oh, a little flames!
Well, that was pretty hard. Okay. Yeah, did the Burning Desires one. That was pretty good. Forgot to record that. Come on.
Give me a piece, I say cheese, 'cause this is my magic spell that makes the camera take your pictures, flash drives away your sorrows. The fine shows tomorrow will be a great day to hang out, even if there are
poking my head to the reason. Must be because I don't hear the song. Okay. I expected there to be a dude. There isn't one though. Let's go to 70 volume.
Give me a piece, I say cheese, 'cause this is my magic spell that makes the camera take your pictures, flash drives away your sorrows. We'll find shows tomorrow, will be a great day to hang out, even if there are always worries you can't hide. I'm by your side. Let's change outfits, uniforms don't define who we are. Let me clean out and shine in the sunshine star. When I try this up close and just well I'm doing just like I do every day. Every day.
Hey. No more other stars. Come on. Okay.
Ma vie est fade comme la poussière. Mon démon intérieur ne me laisse aucun répit. Les paroles malveillantes laissent des cicatrices profondes qui restent ouvertes. Que puis-je y faire? Ma vie se résume à subir du mépris et à survivre dans la souffrance. Pourquoi est-ce à moi de porter le chapeau alors que je ne suis pas fautif? Noblesse et misère, serait-ce de la chance? Quel sera mon choix entre le chemin d'épines et celui de rose? Et où l'on sait de cette pièce, je séguerai ou je résiste. Mon destin se pliera à ma volonté. reste ouverte. Que puis-je y faire? Ma vie se résume à subir du mépris et à survivre dans la souffrance. Pourquoi est-ce à moi de porter le chapeau alors que je ne suis pas fautif? Noblesse et misère, serait-ce de la chance? Quel sera mon choix entre le chemin d'épines et celui de rose? Et au lancer de cette pièce, je céderai ou je résiste. Mon destin se pliera à ma volonté. Quant à moi, je suis dorénavant mon propre maître. Oh, that I own my fate. Life, oh, that I set my fate.
Okay. What? Oh, so this random.
All feelings and but a thing. Blink off and I'll show them why I'm king. Things change when I'm with you, baby. Facing your smile is so disarming. Up a beat my head, drink me of the day. When you come and take me away, like a princess, don't fear, just be brave. It's you and me, there ain't no other way. Jump a beat, I feel like roller coaster going up and down because I know I'm lost. My yearning heart was stolen by you.
Wow. That one was really fucking hard. I didn't think I will retry even.
All feelings and but a thing. Blink off and I'll show them why I'm king. Things change when I'm with you, baby. Facing your smile is so disarming. Up a beat my head, drink me of the day. When you come like a princess, don't fear, just be brave. It's you and me, there ain't no other way. Jump a beat, I feel like roller coaster going up and down because I know I'm lost. My yearning heart was stolen by you.
Wow. I fucking did it. Wow. Okay. Still no one else. Alright. Don't worry about it. come on. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm not content with all right. I did Looks like I'm gonna leave 100 on the table. Yeah, also that.
Trenches of their respective game. And this next statement that I'm about to say is completely unbiased. Trenches? Ranked competitive hell? I've seen the true trenches, my friend, and it's called Dota 2 Legend Bracket. My game's crash outs are more justified than your game's crash outs, and I will not be taking any further questions, thank you. In all seriousness, this next statement might be cope on my end, but I truly don't crash out. I don't slam my desk, and I genuinely have never rage quitted a Dota match in my 14 years of playing this game. So if I can survive playing Dota in super toxic regions like the US, the EU, and even Southeast Asia, all these struggles and little complaints that people have in their other games, they feel like nothing to me. I've been completely desensitized.
I hate this game. I hate this game. I hate this game. I hate this game!
You.
DoorDash, highly suggest you go fuck yourself, bro.
Headshot.
Fuck drinks beer.
Fucking pissed off, bro. Don't fucking fuck with me, bro. Pissed off now. I get fucking angry when it comes to that shit. I'm not fucking kidding, bro. I don't play games, bro. I get competitive. I'm sorry. I get angry, bro.
Like, if we win a game of TF2, awesome. If we lost and some tryhard starts losing his marbles, I'm just gonna give him the Homelander stare like, my guy, it's a casual game. Why are you yelling? But of course, that's just my mindset. But what about gameplay and game design? Well, there's also a lot to dissect about Dota in regards to those things as well. For example, I really want to highlight how Dota is a competitive, character-driven game, and all of these said characters are free, and they have always been free. I really dislike having to grind to unlock characters in competitive games. Casual games are fine. Like, I don't mind waiting for actual days to unlock a new character in Warframe, for example. Okay, that might be a slight exaggeration. Warframe is a little ridiculous, but you get my point. If a game is trying to be competitively viable, if a game prides itself in being serious, then why have it that you have to unlock characters? So many games are guilty of this. League of Legends, Smite, Rainbow Siege, Valorant, Apex Legends, and now Overwatch 2? I genuinely don't get it. I'll give props to Marvel Rivals. They made everyone free from the get-go. Good job, NetEase. Now stop flooding my feed with these Gunnar bait advertisements. Whenever I see a competitive game with unlockable characters, the usual excuse will be that unlocking these said characters is a source of progression. Really? Because to me, that sounds like the developers didn't have complete confidence that the gameplay could carry their game, and they needed this so-called progression to act as jingling keys to keep the player, quote-unquote, engaged. In other words, in order to have fun, I need to have a goal to work towards. I mean, sure, but isn't that goal just trying to win? Why do I need to unlock characters? Why do I need to grind out a battle pass for some fucking stupid in-game currency? I don't get it. All of Dota's characters are free. They always have been. And any game that follows in suit is doing a very good thing. Now, in regards to Dota 2's game balance, there's a famous quote in regards to its philosophy. In Dota, if everything is overpowered, nothing is overpowered. And let's just say, Dota has a ton of spells and mechanics that, when compared to other games with character abilities, many of these spells and aspects would just be straight up unthinkable. And to showcase that, I did a little live recording in Dota 2 just to showcase what I'm talking about. If you're a Dota 2 player who is already familiar with these following heroes and what makes them bullshit or overpowered, or you're just a person who is not really interested in learning anything about Dota's specific hero, you can skip this part of the video by going to this timestamp. So I wanted to show off some of the examples of what exactly makes certain Dota heroes extremely overpowered, and thus I have curtailed a selection of 10 heroes before you. There are most definitely more examples that I can give, but I think these 10 heroes can properly encapsulate some of the bullshit that this game is capable of. So let's start this off with something relatively simple and straightforward. Invisibility. This is a mechanic that almost all competitive games or any type of game with character unique abilities usually have. The ability to go unseen. And this guy right here, Bounty Hunter, is a perfect example. His third spell is called Shadow Walk. It's a basic ability, it's not an alt. You can get this at level 1. And if you take a look at the numbers here, at level 1, the duration of its invisibility is 20 seconds. Its cooldown is 18 seconds. And you can see at the bottom there, the duration just goes up and the cooldown continues to get lower. In other words, at level 1, at the beginning of the game, Bounty Hunter can remain permanently invisible, like so. See? He's gone. As long as he keeps recasting it whenever the spell is about to end, he can just remain invisible and you'll never know he's there. Granted, I have this thing that will allow me to see him. There he is. Invisibility in other games is extraordinarily powerful, and usually there's a lot of ways that people try to balance around it. Having invisibility only last a short duration, or have it done that if you go close, he'll get revealed. And in this case, the only reason I can see him is that this guy right here has an item that will allow me to see him. But without it, no, he's just gone, see? I would have no idea if he is there. And this is a basic ability accessible at the start of the game. There are obviously other heroes who can do this as well, but I think Bounty Hunter encapsulates this the best since he can do it as early as level 1. Next up, we have my favorite character, Mars, this guy right here. What I want to showcase is his passive called Bulwark. As long as enemies are attacking him from the front, you take 70% less damage. Combine that with just a handful of cheap armor items, and this makes Mars almost impervious to physical damage. Just look, I'm gonna have the 4 of these guys attack Mars.
Switch it up! Time for a surprise!
Look at that. It's barely moving. But then, if I have Mars face backwards, look what happens. Suddenly, it starts going down a lot quicker. Then I just turn around. Yeah, quite strong, needless to say. But that's kind of vanilla. Let's give you guys more bombastic examples. Stuns are a very contentious matter. Some people might find the entire concept of stuns to be anti-fun. For example, in Overwatch, I'm fairly certain most stuns are only half a second. At most, maybe. For TF2 and more specifically Scout, at least in regards to the Sandman, this is a very sad matter indeed. But I can see why. Stun mechanics in FPS games can be felt more immediately than a top-down game like Dota. But nevertheless, Dota absolutely loves stuns. For example, Mars here has an average stun. He can throw out a spear, like so, and if an enemy gets pinned to a tree, they get stunned. And the stun duration is just above 2 seconds.
Oh, sup, Ambi. Roommate. Oh, I see. Mm-hmm. Makes sense, yes, of course. Buy the clones with food. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Dun, 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 dun.
Out of my way!
Not over yet! Down strategy. What you deserve. Alright, I'll take you on. I can't really control my strength. Right on cue. Right over.
Watch out! Maximum firepower!
In position. Stage is mine. Not over yet. Give him a full salvo, Senior. Senior.
There's not too much fit from the first-person perspective, and I just like that. More battle, more battle, more battle, more battle, and end with story. And text. Sidorfia. Okay. Not sure how they will work together.
See, let's increase firepower. Adjusting for wind. I'll pierce right through. Oops, I can't really control my strength. This is your lucky day. Recalibrating. Show no mercy.
Get ready, creature mode activate!
You're in my sight. Adjusting for wind. Not over yet. Give him a full salvo, Senior. fucking head off. Circle them. Show no mercy. Dear. Aim for the head, senior. Oops, I can't really control my strength. Maximum firepower!
Okay.
That was our blind spot! Not over yet! Let's paint this place red with your fire attack!
Firepower and match.
Just one strike! Counter! Oops, I can't really control my strength.
Keep distance. Sustain fire.
Oh, come on.
Behold, the spirit entrance! Aim for the head!
That was fast. Almost didn't take any damage.
Oops, I can't really control my strength. I'm not late, right? Staying low to my face! Suppressing! Alright, not over yet! I'm in perfect shape!
Enemy targets attacking from blind spots.
Exercise cover fire! Behold, the spirit entrance!
Firepower at maximum. Homing barrage. Fire.
And now the story. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's the correct response. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Help! Okay, so she is much more trouble than even Vivian. I'm not interested in doing that. So here's that. $60. Okay. let's continue watching this video how to do the touches turn line games by Rugonax double back.
This is considered slightly above average. And then you have heroes like Bane and Marana over here. Marana can shoot out a long-range arrow that, if it connects with an enemy, can stun them for 5 seconds. There you go. Congratulations. You can now take a pee break. That's considered a long stun, but it's certainly not the longest. There are other heroes that might hold this title, but without a shadow of a doubt, the one that holds it best is Bane, right here, this purple motherfucker. He has 2 spells that, when chained together, can keep an enemy locked down for almost 12 seconds. In fact, if you get his level 25 upgrade right here, which adds 3 seconds to his ultimate, that 5.75 second stun becomes 8.75 second stun. So, for the sake of just making this stun last as absolutely as long as possible, I think it's best if I showcase what that looks like. So, his 3rd spell is called Nightmare. It puts the target to sleep. There it goes, ticking down, and just as it ends, forget a pee break, that guy could have just taken a shit. So Dota has characters who can stun you for longer than 10 seconds. And then we have this guy, Nature's Prophet. His second ability, which is a basic ability, is called Teleportation. Quite simply, it lets you teleport to any point in the map with a slight delay, like so. But he can go anywhere, like right here. And then just go back. Normally, this spell would have a 20-second cooldown. That in of itself is already quite short. In League of Legends, Twisted Fate's ultimate is kinda similar. However, its cooldown is anything but. But the juicier part comes from his level 25 talent. If you get this, it just removes the cooldown. You can just teleport around the map with no downtime whatsoever. You can freely push objectives, take lanes, take farm, be a nuisance all over the damn place. A Nature's Prophet with proper map sense and the ability to just disrupt the map is one of the most infuriating things to face against in Dota. Next up, we have Dazzle. This is going to be another League of Legends comparison. League of Legends has the character called Tryndamere. His ultimate makes it that his health bar cannot go below 1 HP. In other words, your health bar will go down, but you don't die. And it's the same thing. Tryndamere has it as an ultimate. On a rather substantial cooldown. Dazzle has it as a basic ability on an 18-second cooldown. So this is what it looks like. He's about to die? Not anymore. Dazzle is a support, and giving this type of an ability to a support is extremely powerful. But let's stop with a League of Legends comparison and just talk about things that makes Dota spells unique. In other words, bullshit. And that's where we have these 4 fine fellows on the enemy team. First up, we have this guy, Silencer. Do you want to take a wild guess as to what he does? With a single press of a button, he can completely nullify the thing that makes a MOBA. That's right. All of these spells that people spend all day theory crafting and gushing over how powerful and strong they are, with a single press of a button, all of a sudden, these spells stop being spells because you can't use them anymore. And it's global. He can cast this from any point on the map, and it lasts 6 seconds without any augmentations. Congratulations! You can now not cast spells. By itself, not the biggest deal. But what happens when you're about to jump the enemy team? You know, you're ready to rock and roll. You run at them, ready to throw some hands, and then all of a sudden, it only affects his enemies, not his team. They are free to use their spells, whereas you are not. But if that wasn't bullshit enough, we have this guy, who has probably, arguably, the most powerful single target spell in this entire game. And it is disgustingly simple and straightforward. This guy's name is Doom, and his ultimate is called Doom. When you cast it on a target, it silences them, just like Silencer, and stops them from healing. Okay, so it's a silence, and it stops them from regenerating health. Okay, what's the big deal? It's the fact that it lasts 16 seconds. That's the length of almost 2 team fights. You could be the most powerful character on your team, but unfortunately, because there's a Doom on the enemy team, all he has to do is press R on you, and then your powerful hero suddenly becomes an NPC. Congratulations. I now cannot cast spells. I can't be healed. Dazzle has a heal. Doesn't work. Doesn't do shit. I can't do a goddamn thing. And it deals quite a bit of damage too. I'm convinced that this type of ability could not and will never exist in any other game, just because it is so disgustingly powerful and straightforward that it will never happen. I will put that down in writing. We will never.
Oh no. Goes there, they go there. Okay, so here. Oh, come on. Oh, yes, that is also useless.
Never see a Doom equivalent in any other competitive online video game. Ever. And to finally round out this section about gameplay, I wanted to discuss these two guys right here, Outworld Destroyer and Faceless Void. One thing that makes Dota unique is that not only are its spells extremely powerful, but the spells also have the possibility to backfire and hurt your own team. Outworld Destroyer has an ability called Astral Imprisonment. It essentially acts as a banish. You scoop up an enemy and they disappear to a pocket universe for 4 seconds. Like so. They can't do anything. It's basically a stun, but you can't hit them. But the thing is, he can also use it on his allies. And himself. You can use this to save them, but sometimes the possibility to accidentally use it at a unfortunate moment is very possible. It's still a really long banish though, 4 seconds. Other games couldn't dream of being stunned for 4 seconds. But I think the star of the show when it comes to potentially hurting your own team is Faceless Void. His ultimate is called Chronosphere. He summons a big time bubble that only he can move in. Emphasis on only he. Enemies and allies cannot move in this. So what happens if your team and the enemy team are duking it out, having a big team fight somewhere like this, and you as the Faceless Void just jump in and go... Congratulations! Nobody can move, even your team. And let's just say, there have been many cases where the Faceless Void will fuck up and just grief his own team. You'd be surprised at how often Faceless Voids really fuck up like this. For example, a situation like this, you think the enemy are clumped up and you jump in and you go, well, congratulations, you just served your team on a silver platter for them. This happens quite often. And honestly, I think it's amazing that Dota allows you to do this. It's an extremely powerful ability that lasts almost 5 seconds. Again, it's another case of a stun that lasts extremely long, but it's balanced by the fact that your own team can get hit by it. Powerful spells like this is intriguing from a gameplay design perspective because it shows that the game designers aren't afraid to go truly balls to the wall with all sorts of interesting game mechanics. And if that means the possibility to absolutely destroy the shit out of your own team for your own misplays there, then I think that's a great thing and more games should have this. And before I end this live section of the video, I just wanted to bring up this little forgotten memory that I just remembered about Faceless Void. I remember seeing a video a long time ago where a Faceless Void was running around with healing items, like so, like buying like this, and he always brought a shit ton of healing potions as well. So whenever there was a big team fight, he would jump in, trap everybody, and then activate the healing potions on his team and then run away. I think it was called like Medic Faceless Void. It was extremely and I would report a person if they did this, but it's really fun. These were just a small snippet of the infinite possibilities that exist within this game. So many characters here have extremely interesting or just straight up broken spells that I couldn't dream of other games adding, and it's a damn shame because these spells are so interesting, so powerful, and because of the fact that it is so powerful, other games would be reluctant to even add them to their games, and that is a shame to add all these extremely stupid spells, and I wouldn't have it any other way. And to cap off this video, there's a few more things that I want to talk about that Dota has absolutely ruined for me. For example, my concept of how long a game should take. Most games in Dota average out at around 40 minutes. However, it is completely normal to have 1 hour long games. In fact, my longest Dota 2 game on record is 1 hour and 51 minutes. I'm fairly confident that the longest recorded public Dota game was like something ridiculous, like 4 hours, 5 hours, probably even more. I'll show it on screen when I find it, but yeah, that. There are also quality of life features that just Dota does that other games just seem to not do, I guess. For example, Dota has these announcer packs. It's basically like different characters and voices announcing whenever you go on a killing spree. They have one for Rick and Morty, they have one for GLaDOS, and it's just them telling you that, hey, your tower's under attack. And the big innovation that Dota did was that all of these announcer packs are shareable. Whenever you start up a game, you can open up the scoreboard, and under this little tab right here, you can see all of the shareable items that you can freely use between games. Nowadays, this might not seem like a big feature, shareable content, but this was implemented a long time ago when other companies wouldn't even dream of giving shareable cosmetics. Another innocuous and unsung thing that I really am happy that Dota added is the ready check button. For anyone who plays consistently with a group of people, you would know the pain of having a teammate who's AFK whenever you're searching for a match and the game pops up. I really don't know why other games don't implement more ready check buttons. If there's nothing else that you can take away from this video, a ready check button is goated, and if a game has one, it's a good game. This next part is just gonna be a little rant about League of Legends because I'm a salty Dota fanboy, but I really hate how you cannot see spell descriptions in-game. It is ridiculous that a game like League of Legends with so many characters and so many spells, once you load into a match, you cannot click on the enemies you are facing to read their descriptions. Too often I will stumble across a new character because Riot pumps out a new waifu every other month, and I want to read what the hell they're doing to me, but unfortunately I can't. The only way that you can read spell descriptions is when you're dead. You can hover your mouse over your death recap and you can read the the abilities. Unfortunately, it only gives you descriptions of what they do. If you wanted to know the numbers, like how much damage it deals, how long does it stun you for, tough shit. In fact, this is something the League of Legends client does completely. If you go to the store page and you wanted to know what the spells do, it'll tell you, but it won't tell you the numbers. And unfortunately, for a MOBA, numbers are very fucking important. If you wanted to know how much damage a spell does, how well it scales, the range, the mana costs, tough shit. Either look it up in-game or open the wiki. Also, Dota 2's draft menu, you know, the little screen whenever you're picking your character, this is the loading screen. Like, as you're picking your character and strategizing with your team on what to do when the game starts, the game is loading in the background. League of Legends does not do this. And yes, I understand, League of Legends client is really old, but Riot makes billions of dollars selling skins. They could definitely afford to update this old-ass client. But hey, I'll be fair to League of Legends, I guess. I do find it refreshing to play certain champions who don't have mana, so I can just freely spam their spells and die anyway, but hey, thought is nice. I'm sure there's other aspects of Dota that just have completely desensitized me to other games and mechanics and such, but these are just the ones that I could think up with a relatively loose script. Apologies if this video was a bit messy and a bit biased, one might say. But I guess that just comes from a place of passion because my god, I love playing Dota. I've been playing it a hell of a lot more lately and it shows because my interest in this game has kind of skyrocketed recently. In fact, I actually have a relatively big video in the works that I'm hoping can be uploaded sometime soon. So if you're looking forward to more Dota content, I gotcha. Anyway, I'm just gonna end it here. Let me know down below in the comment section if there's any other aspects about Dota or your canon event game that has
Okay.
desensitized you to other games. Let us know your experiences in the comment section down below. That's gonna be it from me, Internet Wonder. Thanks for watching. Do the YouTube things.
Ooh. Oh no. Okay. Oh no. No. Oh no. That's all. That works. The two other line game can compare. Very simple.
17%. That's the pro.
That's not necessary. That's not relevant. I didn't know avocado was cheap. Alright. Go into battle.
Chance of Spirit Breaker's greater bash ability. His attacks have a 17% chance to stun the enemy. So let's see if I can get through this YouTube intro without being interrupted by the resident space cow. Hi Internet Wanderer, my name is Argonax the Valve Guy, and today I want to make a quick follow-up video to my previous Dota video about how Dota desensitizes you to playing other games. Which, by the way, thank you a lot for watching that video. It's my most viewed video on the channel right now. For those who didn't watch it, I basically talk about why Dota acts as my gateway to online competitive gaming, and why that is both a good and bad thing. My gaming canon event, in other words. So this will be a shorter video since I already covered most of the big talking points in that previous video, but I still have a lot to say about why Dota is amazing. From its a great client, the quality of life features that it has, the fact that it's a Steam game with all the perks that implies, and to cap off this video, I want to showcase more bullshit abilities that makes Dota truly a one-of-a-kind game that other games couldn't even dream about having its completely busted spells. Dota has the best busted spells. Shit. I think that's all I have. Bar, can you please stop bashing? Okay, that's enough. Please. Okay. I hope you enjoyed the video, and this will be a mess. Apologies again, and I didn't... So today I'm going to try to keep this video as concise as I possibly can. After all, I respect your time, and you're respecting me by watching this video. Thanks for that, by the way.
Hi, this is Argonax from the future. So, I was wrong. The scope of this video has ballooned massively. So, unfortunately, whenever I say this video will be short and concise, yeah, that's a fucking lie. I just wanted you all to know that. Thank you.
So, like I said earlier, this is going to be a continuation of my previous video. And while I cover a lot in there was definitely some things that I missed. In fact, there was a lot of things that I forgot to include into that video that I'm now gonna lump all into this one. And for those who haven't watched the first video, I just need to add this further context.
Alright. Got empty.
Everything that I'm going to say in this video is from the perspective of someone who played Dota for his formative years of online gaming, and thus all my other experiences with other online games will be shaped and compared to Dota. And the more that I play other games, the more I realize Dota just has a lot of things that are exclusive to it, and how I wish these other games had these features. Valve spoils us with the game polish and punishes us with the game design, but I'll get into that later into the video. Case in point, Dota 2 has, in my opinion, the absolute best client in the gaming world. Client as in anything that isn't the game itself, if that makes sense. This involves the main menu, the options tab, the features within the main menu, the lobby system, the arcade system, even the demo mode system, the UI, the loading screens. Basically anything in the game that allows you to interact with the game itself is related to the client. And starting off on this client glazing would have to go to Dota 2's demo feature. Out of all competitive character-driven games, I have to say, Dota has the best demo mode. It's fast to load, easy to use, and it's very configurable. Hell, not even counting hero and spell interactions, the demo mode lets you test out all the cosmetics that your hero has available to them, even the ones that cost hundreds of dollars. You can even mix and match them. Imagine that! Being able to physically see and play around with the cosmetics before you buy them. Huh, it's really nice that Dota lets you do that. Hey, League of Legends. Oh, that's a nice splash art you got there. What does the in-game model look like? Yeah, let's keep that splash art. And before anyone says that I'm cherry-picking with this example, this skin came out in 2016. Crystal Maiden has been around since the very beginning of Dota back in 2011. And I can zoom in all the way to her face, and would you look at that, she doesn't look like a PlayStation 1 character.
Hello, motherfucker.
Let's drop the League of Legends bullying for just a moment. Don't worry, I'll resume later in the video. I mentioned
That's quite a lot. Looks like even this is not necessarily necessary. But hey. Okay, well then, let's start with this. Makes sense.
In my previous video how I hate the fact that you have to unlock other playable characters in other competitive character-driven games. Unfortunately, it is the norm that you have to grind out to unlock these other characters. God forbid you want to counterpick somebody but you don't have the character unlocked. The point is, if companies are going to choose to do that, at the very least, they should give you the option to demo these characters before you make your purchase. Honestly, that just seems like the bare minimum. And if these humble billionaire companies can take this extra step and also allow us to demo their cosmetics, that would be such a godsend. I know I'm asking for a lot, especially for the small indie developers, but you know, it's the thought that counts. And while I'm on the topic of cosmetics and microtransactions, I thought a law had passed that stopped all these companies from using their artificial made-up in-game currencies to justify microtransactions. Like, what is a V-Buck? What is a riot point? Nobody knows. But the only thing we do know is that if you want to load up your account, they charge you in such a scummy way to make sure that you can never buy the right amount for the cosmetic you want. It's always going to be just short or just a little too much. Scummy behavior. In Dota and hell, even Counter-Strike or any other Steam game that respects itself, All items and microtransactions will be priced relative to your region and currency. If you see an item that is worth 50 cents, it is worth 50 cents. It's not worth 0.05 Steam money. No, you have your digital good and the price tag right below it. Dota and Valve are not trying to pull the wool over your eyes when it comes to buying cosmetics. Sorry, I'm getting a little fucking worked up. Holy shit. I'm happy that most gamers are waking up to the concept that most game companies are trying to fuck you over and people are not okay with this anymore. But we still have a long way to go. So thank you, Microsoft, for shooting yourself in the foot. Anyway, sorry, let's get back on topic. Why Dota 2's demo mode is the best. Dota 2's demo mode is so well optimized. There was a famous clip from a few years ago during a pro tournament where one of them disconnected from the match to load up the demo mode in order to test out a hero interaction to see whether or not their hero's level 25 upgrade would be able to counter someone on the enemy team. They were in a match, they disconnected, opened up demo mode, tested the interaction, and loaded back in. All of this happened in about 20 to 30 seconds. And again, I need to mention, they were able to do this because Dota has a pause feature. Before I move on to talking about the options tab, there is one thing that I kind of just want to show off. One of my favorite things to do in the demo mode is select the character Ursa, whose passive grants him the ability to have infinitely stacking and multiplying physical damage. Have him hit the dummy and see how high this number could go. I also added these heroes because they also had ways to increase the damage per second on the dummy. So for the rest of this video, I'm gonna have good old Ursa up on screen, just mindlessly hitting this courier, sped up, and let's see how high that number will be by the end of the video. I left this running for like an hour and a half, I think. Anyway, the next thing to glaze, the options tab. Now, anyone in the audience who might just say, "Ooh, it's just a main menu, what's the big deal?" And to you, imaginary strawman, all I have to say is, you clearly didn't look deep enough into the guts of this thing. Rest assured. I did that to your mom last night. Sorry. Dota 2's client has so many quality of life features and just straight up options that I didn't know could be options. Anyone who has spent more than 20 minutes perusing its various menus and drop-down windows and all sorts of things will probably agree with me when they say that Dota 2 really does spoil us in terms of how configurable this game is. For example, keybinds, something that is quite important, especially when you need to manage all of the spells your character has. In Dota, you can give each individual hero unique character hotkeys. That includes differentiating them if you want the spell to be a normal cast, a quick cast, key up, key down. Every single Dota hero, if you want, can have a different keybind and a different way that the spell interacts with your options. That is insane. And as a little cherry on top, you can also customize the keybinds for your courier and jungle monsters. And for all of you fellow Dota 1 players in the audience, haha, you're old, like me, but also I know a few of you still play with legacy keys. For those who don't know, the spellbinds back in Dota 1 were, questionable, to say the least. But if you still want to play with those controls, the option is there. And the option is also there if you want to make your keybinds to be extra funny. And knowing you guys out there, some of you probably have some weird ass fucking hotkeys for your spells.
For my items, I have P, N, minus, exclamation point, and the dollar symbol.
What the fuck? Are you fucking with me?
No!
No way.
Dollar symbol.
Say those again, dude.
I have E, N, minus, equals, and the dollar symbol. Why are you laughing?
I can't believe it.
Don't laugh. You're supposed to be a thinker.
Oh my god, I'm sorry, dude. I can't. That could have been a skit, dude. That could have been an actual skit that you wrote and spent like minutes theory crafting. Would be the funniest 6 hotkeys. And you fucking said them, dude. And that's just what you have.
Under the game tab, there's also a lot of toggles that you can do when it comes to giving your units orders. It goes so in depth, you can tweak milliseconds if you wanted to. There's options about how you want HP bars to be displayed. There's even this experimental lab option right here that I would highly recommend you guys to check out. Some of you might not even know that this is a feature in the options tab, but please give it a look. And there are some nice things in here, particularly this keybind right here, the one that makes it that spells can only interact with heroes. It's a lifesaver. You should honestly bind this to something. It's a really good keybind. I already mentioned the chat wheel in my previous video. You should go watch it. Link in the video description below. But TLDR, the chat wheel is a great tool that allows for seamless team play and good vibes. But realistically, this thing is mostly used to piss off enemies and your teammates. The hero tab can also be customized as well. If you wanted to shuffle around the heroes, you can. If you wanted to make new categories, you can. If you wanted to make an in-game tier list, you can. Sort them by color, alphabetical order, I don't fucking care. Turn it into a meme. I know a lot of you guys have. Take a look at these. Another feature that you would think other games would have, but apparently they just don't, in-game community guide.
Any student.
As far as I know, almost every other MOBA, if you wanted to have a player guide, a hero guide, you need to open it on a separate monitor or they would be accessible via third-party programs. Think Paro Professor from League of Legends. Yeah, every other MOBA doesn't have built-in in-game community-made guides. They added this feature in Deadlock, but that's to be expected. Both games are made by Valve and IceFrog after all. I'm going to assume that probably some MMOs or RPGs out there have in-game community guides, but I'm more so talking about in context of competitive games. Think Valorant, Marvel Rivals, Apex Legends. These types of hyper-serious games would benefit massively from a feature like this, but apparently they just don't have them as far as I know. Please correct me in the comment section below. I'm rather ignorant on this topic, but the fact that other MOBAs don't have this is mind-boggling. Oh, hold on, I'm getting a report. Apparently, Smite 2 implemented it. Allegedly. I would confirm this, but nobody plays that game, so... And I completely forgot to mention this in the other video, the arcade tab. This is how you know that Dota is a great game, because you get more game per game in this game. You have the game of Dota, then you have all the other official game modes under the play tab. But if these will not suffice, you can go to the arcade tab and then voila, you have an entire selection of custom-made games at your disposal. And believe me, these custom games are not niche. These games have tens of thousands of people playing at any given point of the day. In fact, just a few years ago, this arcade tab was responsible for birthing an entirely new game genre, the auto chess genre. I remember whenever auto chess was starting to take off, I think it was late 2019, thereabouts, there were hundreds of thousands, multiple hundreds of thousands of people logging into Dota, not to play the game, but only just to play auto chess. It was one of the biggest player spikes in Dota history because people were logging in just to play this custom game mode. This is really the culmination of Valve's philosophy when it comes to making games. Valve loves turning mods into game. Warcraft 3 got modded into Dota 1. Dota 1 was acquired by Valve and turned into Dota 2, which then Dota 2 itself got modded and birthed the auto chess genre, which caused all these other companies to make their own standalone games. A mod of a mod of a mod. It's got RTS games, tower defense games. It even has a top-down Counter-Strike game mode. Personally, my favorite was Custom Hero Chaos and all the other similar game modes. I know for some of my other Valve audiences, this should not be surprising, but remember, we are spoiled by Valve. Valve encourages us to make custom-made content. Other games, not so. Maybe as time goes on, more and more game companies are opening to the idea of player-made content. That's kind of becoming the philosophy of Fortnite, and hell, Roblox has been doing it for a long time, on top of abusing its underage player base. Also, I hope you guys appreciate what I had to go through in order to record this footage. Do you have any idea how many flashing lights and bright transition slides Fortnite and Roblox YouTubers use? The entire time I was recording that footage, my room was lit up like a fucking Christmas tree. Hell, forget about custom games for a second. The official Valve-made minigames and seasonal game modes are, most of the time, peak. In fact, I'm gonna do a little test for my audience right now. This is how I know if you guys are based. Will you guys agree with me when I say Nest of Thorns is good enough to be its own standalone game? I would pay Valve real money just to make sure that Aghanim's Labyrinth and Aghanim's Pathfinder was a permanent game mode in this game. It was so goddamn good. My friends who are League of Legends purists, who absolutely hate Dota just as much as I hate League, they were bugging me at all times of the day just to hop on and play some Aghanim's Labyrinth. That's how good that game mode was. Please, Valve, bring it back. And just because I want to relate this video to my Dota 2 RTS video, linked also below in the video description if you haven't seen that one, you can open up your scoreboard and allow your teammates to have full control over your hero if you want them to have it. You can enable unit control, take your hands off the keyboard, and let your teammates play your hero for you. That's right, you can graduate from player to spectator mid-match. Thank you, Valve. Great feature. Alright, I think it's time to talk about the thing that we really wanted to see. Dota 2's bullshit heroes. And don't you worry, I got a new selection of bullshit heroes to show off for you guys. And to act as an audio treat, because this song has been stuck in my head for the last 3 days and it reminds me of the old Dota what the fuck days, I'm gonna explain everything to the wonderful melody of Pepsi Man Eurobeat. Full credit goes to Turbo. Their Eurobeat remixes are the best in the entire platform. Hey, editing Argo from the future, crank that shit up!
This is so peak, man.
Let's get into it. First up is Underlord. He's a big slug. He likes circles. He's got 2 of them. One of them burns, the other one stops the enemies from moving. The second circle is some bullshit because with some proper items, he can ensure that everyone on the enemy team is playing musical chairs, except the music never stops. Look at the goddamn screen. It is covered in circles. Nobody can fucking move. I love playing this character because he is brain dead easy. You think I'm gonna play Invoker? Hell no. I'm gonna play the Circle Boy all day until I get out of the legend bracket, which is never. Sniping's a good job, mate, especially if you can hit people from another screen away with your normal attacks. Oh, and half of your shots push the enemy away. No. For reference, here is the range of a normal hero. Yeah, good luck trying to compete with this guy. Battlefield 6 just came out, and I like the game. However, I hate that modern shooters have Sniper Glint. What did Dota's Sniper do? He said, fuck that shit, and with his first facet, this means you cannot see him when he is shooting you from another zip code away. Do you want me to trigger all of the old Dota heads in the audience? All I need to say is, ho ho, ha ha. You know how like all MOBA characters have universal limitations, namely cooldowns? Do you want to know what Tinker says to cooldowns?
No. Why? Tinker is a deadly laser.
His ultimate just allows him to reset all of his spells. That's it, no cooldown. The only limitation for him is mana cost, which isn't really a limitation, I'll tell you later. He's got a laser, an army of robots, a bullshit shield, and a global teleport. He saw what Nature's Prophet was doing and said, no. That's some hippie shit. So if you can freely teleport back and forth from the fountain, mana isn't really a real limitation, now is it? And believe it or not, he used to be way worse. His ultimate used to reset items as well. It's not the case anymore, thank God. And nowadays, he is now considered a balanced hero. I love the lies I tell myself. Dota has 3 types of damage: physical, magical, and pure damage. Omni Knight can say fuck you to all of them. Repel makes magic damage deal damn near nothing, and pure damage spells do actual nothing. Same goes for physical damage in his ultimate Guardian Angel. The only spells that'll work are immunity piercing spells, assuming you have any, and let's be real, your Herald teammates probably don't even know what a BKB is. So, what happens when an Omni Knight turns his hyper carry into an immortal, unkillable being? Oh, the hyper carry is online. Yeah, the hyper carry, yeah! I don't know. Terrorblade is another hyper carry. His ultimate allows him to do this.
Oh, call an ambulance! Call an ambulance! But not for me!
His ultimate, Sunder, allows him to hack the in-game UI settings and lets him swap health bars with you. It's based off percentages, not raw numbers. He can also cast it on allies. And, let's be honest, a lot of unconsenting sport players have been at the receiving end of his Sunder. Say hello to Slardar. He's kinda like Spirit Breaker. You know, the guy from the intro of the video? Except he bashes on every 4th attack. So therefore, with enough attack speed, you can permanently bash someone. Forget about allowing an ally to control your hero so you can become a spectator. Slardar himself can turn you into a spectator, whether you want to or not. Look at this shit. You literally cannot move as long as he is bonking your head. And just because I like seeing people get bonked, here are all the heroes who can also bash, hitting the dummy, because we need 2 clips of heroes wailing on the target dummy. In case you forgot, Ursa is right up there. And speaking of attack speed, this is how fast a level 1 hero can attack. This is how fast a typical fully farmed carry can attack. This is how fast Slardar can attack when his entire inventory is filled with attack speed items. And then you have Alchemist, a high-functioning fentanyl addict that, with enough attack speed items, he can attack so fast you literally cannot even see his animations looping properly. Valve, please fix. Just like all MOBAs, Dota has a lot of characters who have infinite scaling mechanics. Anytime they get a kill, a number goes up. But that's kind of boring, isn't it? I prefer something a little more exotic. Kind of like downloading a car, stealing stats is way better. Slark and Silencer can permanently steal your stats forever for the rest of the game. Agility for Slark, intelligence for Silencer. Meaning, if you die to these 2 goobers, you get arthritis and Alzheimer's at the same time. Talk about a 2-in-1 special. If the game goes on long enough, and believe me, it can, you'll end up with no armor, no attack speed, no mana. You're basically a creep with a slightly bigger health bar. In other words, my lane partner anytime I play solo ranked. And to finally end this section, I got 2 more heroes to show off for you. Almost all MOBA characters have 4 very powerful abilities. Okay, cool, but what if a character had 14? Here's Invoker. He has a shit ton of spells. I will not explain any of them. Instead, here's a clip of somebody unloading an entire RTS.
Nice.
Game's worth of APM onto a team fight. There's definitely some particle effects happening there. Ooh, numbers, wow. And throughout this entire series, I've shown you a list of extremely powerful abilities and spells. So here's Rubik. He can take your bullshit spell, any bullshit spell, he doesn't care or discriminate, copy and use it against you, but with more damage, more duration, and more range. In other words, these two guys are fucking nerds. Okay, I think that's enough Eurobeat. Let me tone it back a little bit. My nervous system is crashing from caffeine withdrawal. But I'm not done yet. One more demonstration for the road. Here's Doom. I showed him in the previous video before, but I just want to show how much more powerful he can be if you completely min-max his ability. As a refresher, his ultimate is called Doom. It deals a shit ton of damage, it silences you, and prevents all healing. This ultimate actually turns you into an NPC for 16 seconds. However, if you take his third facet, Impending Doom, which increases its duration as the game goes on, and believe me, Dota games can last up to an hour. So after the 1 hour mark, Doom can last 21 seconds. And if you get this item, which increases duration by 15%, that's 24.5 seconds. Get an Aghanim Scepter, which causes his Doom to become a big circle, and you get a Refresher Orb and a Refresher Shard. You can cast your ultimate 3 times in a row. So at the bare minimum, Doom can use his ultimate to shut down a minimum of 3 heroes, but more likely, the entire enemy team for almost 30 seconds. Imagine if a hero had an ability to just turn off your monitor, because that's basically what he's doing to you. You might as well just take your hands off the keyboard and just queue up for your next match at that point. But I think that's enough demonstration for today, and as I'm looking at the runtime of this video, it's clear to see that this video has kind of lost the plot. It kind of exploded in terms of its scope. So I will end this video thusly. As time goes on, more games become more streamlined, more accessible, but at the same time, video game industry practices become scummier and focus less on the quality of life for the gamer. In my opinion, Dota does both of these things perfectly. It doesn't attempt to streamline anything. Valve knows that the people who play Dota and their games are dedicated to the games that they do play. And the last thing that we want is for them to dumb down this game. And the last thing we also want is for Valve to stop providing us with the best possible service that they can give. Yes, the game is punishing, but at the same time, its features are groundbreaking. The quality of life compared to other games is unheard of. It's a type of dichotomy that you really can't find in any other game. And honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way. But what do you think, Internet Wanderer? Do you agree with everything that I've shown off in this video? Let me know in the comment section down below. That's gonna be it for me, Internet Wanderer. Here's the damage Ursa was able to rack up on the dummy. And of course, thanks for watching. Do the YouTube things.
Okay. Also the correct choice. Oh no. Oh, 16 out of 16. Kill. the last rewards. Okay, no more rewards. So I guess I should take a bit of a break for this. 560. Okay. 360. 800. Okay. Treasure hunt 4 hours. Okay, hello Zero.
Wanna be my reap?
Bear witness to the... We're not headed for some haunted place, are we? Bear witness to the noble principles of the Timefield family.
How did the teammates mess
Hey, wanna see the most tilting thing in all of Dota? Online gaming. Truly humanity's greatest achievement. Why? Because despite all the advancements we've been able to do with technology, we ended up using it in the only way we really could have. By transmitting absolute vitriol to one's fellow man across the digital space.
Oh no, they don't want to leave the base. Wait, I'm an Abaddon. Wait a minute.
Let's go.
Okay, 5-man tip. Just like that, the funny haha moment of the video is complete.
The point of this video is that online gaming is stressful, and competitive online gaming is even more stressful. So, what happens when you combine a high-pressure environment like a competitive game with the everyday toxicity of your average gamer?
Like what? Get me the fuck out! Fuck out of this fucking European trash! Get me the fuck out! Fucking useless French fag! Fag! I made you Director! Shut your fucking mouth, you bitch!
You get the recipe for one of the most inhospitable environments known to man. Almost all online games have built-in ways to piss off their fellow gamers. Text chat, teabagging, friendly fire.
Fucking perfect flash, I mean.
Taunts, emotes, dances, and the best one of all. All voice chat.
Oh my god, that is so adorable.
Oh, Anise!
Oh, what? You're live on Twitch?
Hold on.
let me get back into character. Okay. So with all that said, what if I told you that what Valve did to Dota 2 and its ability to inherently piss off the people who play this game is truly some next level stuff. Dota's got the usual online features like text and voice chat, League of Legends eat your heart out, but it goes further. Sprays, chat wheels, hero voice lines, caster voice lines, in-game tipping, effigies with funny names, ally spells that can grief you, and a fucking pause feature. All of these things, combined with an already extremely oppressive and high-pressure game like Dota, equates to one of the most, passionate experiences you can have in gaming.
No, Chuck, please! Help! No!
And that's what I want to talk about today. But before I do that, I just want to say, no one is born cool. Except those who subscribe to the channel and watch my content. My name's Argonax the Valve Guy. I make videos covering most of Valve's games, and you are one cool person for clicking on this small YouTuber's video. Hope you enjoy the slop I have prepared for today, and while you're at it, don't forget to do the YouTube things, and also, YouTube added this hype feature. I still don't know what it does, but if you are able, please hype up this video. And special thanks to Desor for making these wonderful illustrations for the thumbnail. You're awesome. Anyway, thanks for listening. Back on topic. Listed on screen are all the reasons why I think Dota 2 is so expertly good at absolutely pissing off its entire player base with these built-in mechanics. So I'm gonna kinda loosey-goosey talk about these in order, and the first one is in-game tipping. In Dota 2, you have the ability to tip all players in the game that you're playing. All players start off with 3 tips, and you can give them to other players at any point in the game. The amount is only like 50 Dota Plus points, which, for reference, here is how much all of these cosmetics cost. And here's how much the good cosmetics cost. So good luck trying to get to the good skins if you're just earning them through tips. Again, it's kind of like being a waiter in the US, huh? Anyway, I like how Google's absolutely worthless AI system is telling me that Dota 2's tipping system can be used by allies or enemies to recognize good plays and achievements, or sometimes to be toxic. Yeah, guess what? Unfortunately, when Valve added this feature, almost no one uses it to recognize good plays. The vast majority of people who use the tipping system is just to be an asshole, to tilt the enemy team. If they get first blood on you, you get tipped. If you fuck up and miss your punch hook, you get tipped. The enemy kills your donkey, you get tipped. And if your opponent just so happens to be the susceptible type to gamer rage, like in those clips I showed you earlier in the video, let's just say tipping can really cause that little vein in their forehead to start pulsing if you do it correctly. The next thing that Valve implemented into the game is the entirety of the chat wheel system. This includes the text wheel, sound wheel, and the hero voice exclusive. They all fall under the same banner, except they're used in different ways. The general chat wheel, which you can customize in the communications tab under Dota, which, by the way, is very telling of Valve's priority. When the first thing that pops up when you open the drop-down menu under the communications tab is this. Now, just like the tipping system before it, ideally, the chat wheel system should be used for good. It's supposed to be used to communicate more complex mechanics and maneuvers in the game without needing to type it out or open your mic. And for the most part, the text messages are very configurable. A well-meaning player can convincingly coordinate his team with rather complex strategies just by utilizing this chat wheel. You could tell your team to push a lane, take a tower, clear out the jungle, and then proceed to Roshan with the proper string of chat wheel lines. You can even throw in some emojis if you want to. But for the most part, that's not how the text chat wheel is used. Most of the time, and this might be anecdotal on my end, most of the time whenever people use the text chat wheel, it usually just gets used to use the more, passive-aggressive lines in the game, let's just say. But text is just text. That's not really gonna piss people off. For that, you're gonna need the sound chat wheel. With this tab, you can use any sound bites that you have unlocked or earned and use it here.
If you're bad at playing Dota, clap your hands.
This falls from anything from unlockable sounds, to more exclusive things like Dota 2 casters and analysts who have pre-recorded lines. Because I'm trying to pad out the runtime of this video, enjoy this selection of the voice lines I personally find to be very enjoyable.
Fuck God almighty! They killed him!
You were doing very well. I'm very proud of you.
See you later, nerds.
I'm finally late, cause I'm moving late.
What the herald was that?
Lovely wife. Lovely kids. Lovely guns. Simple as.
I'd like to report a crime.
Focus on the target. Plant your strategies to score.
Going in? Going?
I see your weakness. Let's go. You can't run. No time to do it for surprise.
Cheaper Robbins!
I feel nothing. It's honestly really cool that Dota lets you do this. Dota talent, Dota players, Dota coaches, you know, anyone involved in the Dota community, if you get popular enough, you can have your voice immortalized.
Don't get scared now! Come on, fire! Woo! Ha-ha! Hey! Let's have some fun! Stay on offense! Move with the blade. Adjust your breathing. Sorry for stealing your spotlight. For the time field name, I will never lose!
In the game, just for players to spam your pre-recorded voice lines in matches to piss their enemies off. It's a beautiful thing. Man, I love this community. In fact, one of the most popular Dota 2 voice lines was by a Filipino caster named Dunno. He unfortunately passed away due to complications with COVID back in 2021. So, with all that being said, it is really nice that Valve has truly immortalized this man into Dota 2. Because for those who don't know, in Dota 2's 14 years of existence, in its 14 years of esports tournaments, events, matches, so on and so forth, out of all the talent that has ever participated in the esports scene, no one else has been able to make such a massive splash in the arena of Dota 2 casting talent than this guy. It was a viral clip back in 2018. Dunno and his casting partner, Juan, were giving commentary in their native Philippines. And needless to say, at the end of one of their games, they gave so many iconic voice lines that will forever be remembered as long as Dota 2 still has players to play it. And what's even more crazy is that all of these extremely memorable voice lines, all of these happened in the span of 40 seconds. So in memory of Dunno, I'm gonna play the clip in its entirety, and this is how you know it's really good. When I don't even speak the language, I can just hear the passion and slight insanity coming from their voices.
80s yan, 80s yan. Oo, matigas ka. Naku, lakad mo, latag matatag, lakad matatag.
Normally.
Ekos laman chama! Tapos ang boxing isama! Uy, teka lang,
iba to.
Teka lang,
Sir Chief.
Sir Chief! Huwag kayong mainis, maalam patis! Palating!
Oh my God, Sir Chief! Panating victory! 10K tayo ako times 3! 30 games!
Easiest money of my life! Grabe! grabe naman, kaya pala ginagawa ni Ii yun. The next level play. The next level play. Ang lakas ni Ii. Ano nangyari doon?
May you walk sturdy in heaven, good sir. Alright, I don't want to bring down the tone too much. Let's get back on topic. Enabling toxicity in Dota 2. Every year we get new sound clips added to this thing. And honestly, you don't even need to own that many. You just need one annoying voice line in here just to really rub in the salt. What if you kill an enemy, you get first blood, you tip him, and then you hit him with one of these voice lines. Suddenly, that nerve pulsating on their forehead is getting a lot bigger, isn't it? And I guess as a quick aside, I'm also going to lump in sprays in here because it is technically part of the chat wheel functionality. This one isn't as incendiary as the other options, although it's still very funny, especially if you have access to the loser spray. Notable Dota 2 player Thompson utilized this spray very well during his time playing in Dota 2 tournaments. Needless to say, it was very funny for us, and probably just a little bit tilting for his enemies.
Matchup, Magical as trying to round Thompson underneath the tower, taking a lot of damage. The Fairy Fire will keep him alive. And he sprays loser. The disrespect.
And finally, for the last aspect about this chat wheel, is the hero exclusive voice line. Technically speaking, this would be the same as the sound chat wheel. However, this time it's exclusive to the hero that you pick and play during a match. These are voice lines of the hero that you are currently playing, which you can play in-game. Unfortunately, the more spicy ones and the ones that could be heard globally in chat by the enemies, these are locked behind Dota Plus, unfortunately. So there is that downside. But if nothing else, other games have pay-to-win features. Dota has pay-to-tilt features. So if you really think about it, forking over $5 a month just so you can spam voice lines to tilt your enemies just a little bit more sounds like a worthy investment to me. And if you don't want to give money to Valve, you could always give it to me. YouTube memberships, go ahead, do it. Please, please, please. Assuming you have Dota Plus and you've played a hero quite a few times, you will unlock more medals on that hero. And the more medals you unlock, the more voice lines you can spam. And believe me, everything that I've said about tipping, text chat wheels, sound chat wheels, sprays, all of that pales in comparison to the hero voice lines. All heroes have a ton of voice lines that they can spam. I should also clarify, because I've been using that word a lot. The sound chat wheels, which include the hero voice lines, can only be used twice every minute. So it's not really spam, but you know, twice every 60 seconds, that's more than enough for you to properly tilt your enemies if you know how to use these things correctly. Anyway, just because I want to showcase some of these magnificent hero voice lines, I'm going to give you a small selection of these wonderful sound bites that we have access to. So, as part of a little interactive exercise, I just want you to imagine that you're laning in Dota 2, okay? Nice and peaceful. You're getting a few last hits, your support is by your side, and then you get ganked by the enemy mid laner, you die, you give first blood. The enemies tip you, and then all of a sudden, the following voice lines enter your ear.
This is Dota! Why doesn't anybody like me? It was your own damn fault. I know, my son. You will be forever alone. Are you even trying? I now have all the sex gods into the world. Me.
Starting to feel a bit nutty.
I'm getting too old for this horse shit. This is bullshit. I am a beacon of knowledge blazing out across a black sea of ignorance.
From the ghastly Eyrie, I can see to the ends of the world, and from this vantage point, I declare with utter certainty that this one is in the bag.
I want to die.
I know I'm painting a very idealistic version of these types of events, but believe me, this happens very often. And you also have to remember that the average gamer isn't exactly the friendliest person in the world. So the moment that you start yapping your mouth off in all chat, making enemies not just on the enemy team but on your own team, that's a very easy way to paint a picture on your back. And when you are enemy number one, when you are 1v9ing a server, you become prime target for tips, voice lines, and chat wheels. And believe me, when you are on the receiving end of all of this audio and visual bombardment, it gets to you, and it gets to you hella quick. But all this stuff that I've listed so far, technically speaking, this isn't really part of the game as per se. This is extra stuff. This is fluff, you know? Bonus mechanics that Valve added in later into the game. Sure, this stuff can definitely piss people off. However, I am fairly confident that there are ways for people to disable it on their end. Like if they don't want to see chat wheels, I'm fairly certain there's an option in the options tab to turn that off, for example. So if you're a very particular type of snowflake, you can technically remove all of these features if you're a pussy. But there are some things that you just cannot get away from, no matter how many toggles and stuff you try to disable. And that is just the game of Dota 2 itself. Try as you might to disable voice lines, chat wheel, tipping, sprays. You can even take it a step further and just mute everyone, voice and chat on the enemy team and your team, and just have the true solo player Dota experience. No matter how many of these things you disable, the game of Dota 2 will still find ways to piss you off. Case in point, a lot of heroes in this game have spells that can affect their own teammates. And by effect, I mean potentially grief you. Pudge can accidentally hook you into the wrong part of town. Vengeful Spirit can just serve you up on a silver platter to the enemy team if she so feels like it. Bane might decide that it's time for you to take a pee break and put you to sleep for 5 seconds. And good old Faceless Void can just decide to be a paid actor on the enemy team if he wanted to. And before my fellow Dota nerds in the audience are going to say, oh, just disable help. Number one, that option doesn't work on all spells. Chronosphere and Pudge Hook will still affect you, I'm pretty sure, among others. I just can't name them off the top of my head. And number two, shut up, that doesn't fit the narrative of the video. Please don't ruin this for me. Also, I'm willing to bet that some of you didn't know that this was a feature. And if you just learned about it, well, looks like you gotta subscribe now. So you have ally spells who are supposed to help you but can accidentally fuck you over. And then you have a wonderful feature that Valve decided to add to their multiplayer competitive online experience. A pause feature. Yippee!
Adjust your breathing.
Oh, he disconnected again, dude!
The most symmetrical sword
What's happening?
Why are we still here? Just to suffer.
Listen, man, the more competitive games that I play, the more that I'm starting to learn that a pause feature is not the norm. Rather, it's the exception. Call me spoiled. Like I said in my previous video, all of my online gaming experience is molded by the fact that I played Dota first. And in Dota, or at least Dota 2, we've always had a pause feature. So that's just what I'm used to. Color me surprised when I go into Overwatch or League of Legends and suddenly this wonderful feature, which albeit can be abused, is suddenly gone. Yes, I understand. The pause feature can and it will be abused if it's there. I see it happen all the time. That imaginary scenario in my head where you get killed, chat wheeled, tipped, and mocked? What if we really wanted you to feel even worse about it and they pause the game after they kill you? I would venture a guess and say that that's not the best feeling in the world. But if I can squeeze in one more spicy take in this video, which
Here we are. Hey. Wait.
I'm going to assume some of you are already gonna perceive as spicy enough as is. I would rather have the option to pause than not have it in the first place.
Yes.
In my long years of playing Dota 2, I have had multiple instances where my internet fucks up, my computer fucks up, my game crashed, somebody's graphics started bugging out, their keyboard was unplugged, their mouse ran out of battery, you name it. There is an entire menagerie of technical and mechanical problems that could have happened while playing this game. Just a few days ago, I was playing a game and my Earthshaker disconnected in the middle of a team fight. We were relying on him to get kills during a gank, but he just stopped moving. Thankfully, we had the pause button to try to salvage the situation. He eventually came back and we were able to resume the gank.
Let ES unpause. ES, you see what's happening here?
Only for him to fuck up and miss his fissure, allowing the enemy to get away.
No! It's okay. Another perfect clip moment.
But that doesn't fit the narrative of the video, so we're just going to ignore that. Point is, having a pause feature will invite toxicity. I understand that, but
Here it is. Where is that? Come on. What the hell? Why have you crashed? I need to finish this bamboo story.
Starry night, starry night. A loving mother, a flame-eating father.
I also think that it's a
Here, wait to load.
massive quality of life feature that more games should have, or at the very least, games should start with it. Because if a game decides to add it later in its lifespan, that's when it's going to become abused even more. Imagine if in a new update, League of Legends adds a pause feature and, fuck it, why not, a voice chat feature. These new shiny new toys that the players can use, it's going to be abused and used like it's nobody's business. Whereas if they were
looking for the correct. Oh fuck, my eyes. But I was certain this is the master. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's not. The story is not worth it. It's not worth the time investment. So, the weekly stuff. 5 times, routine cleanup, spend tennis. Okay. Resonance in 3 hours. Interesting. Did it already. Done it. Need more time. Don't want to do. Alright, well. Seems like they 14 hours. Come on. What about where the fuck? Ah, I did it already. Alright, if that's the case. Switching to Genshin.
There from the beginning, it would have just been business as usual. Nobody would have thought anything about it. Sorry, I'm going on a tangent. Must be a sign of my growing dementia. The point is, while a pause feature is ultimately good in the long term, in my eyes, I can also recognize that when it's abused in conjunction with all these other aspects that we've just discussed, it makes for a miserable experience. And I wanted to sneak in this section into the video. I completely recognize that both Dota and Counter-Strike, both Valve games, have almost equal levels of toxicity. However, in Counter-Strike, most of the things that would be considered toxic, friendly fire, purposely dying, teabagging, these are pretty standard, especially in most first-person shooter games. Dota goes the extra mile to allow full toxicity and passive-aggressive toxicity. Well, I guess Counter-Strike does have sprays. I don't know. Maybe I need to play more ranked Counter-Strike. Nah, I'm not gonna do that. Oh, and speaking of Counter-Strike, additional disclaimer. I cover most of Valve's games. Dota, Counter-Strike, Half-Life, TF2, Deadlock. It's in my name. So don't be surprised if my next upload is gonna be me talking about which TF2 mercenary I would want to sleep with. I won't. But maybe someday. Sorry, back to Dota. If your allies are feeling particularly toxic that day and they want to go above and beyond, they can grief your own team with certain items. For example, the ability to ward block. The jungle is a very important part of the map that gives a team a lot of gold if you can secure it, and ward blocking just means that these jungle monsters will not respawn. But the worst of the worst is when your teammates decide to donate items to the enemy team, notably Gem of True Sight and Divine Rapier, the strongest item in the game. Both these items drop when the holder is killed, and yes, your teammate can stockpile money, buy these, run at the enemy, and give it to them. There's toxic players, then there's professional toxic players. Dota is a hard game, like no shit. Even in a perfect Dota 2 match, where you had no toxic teammates, no one abusing the tip feature or their chat wheels, people are still going to be on edge, just by the sheer amount of stress that Dota can induce because it requires and asks so much of its players. All it takes is just one player to just have a bad day. Maybe they were stressed at work. Maybe they got into a fight with their girlfriend or something like that. Maybe their car got a flat tire. You name it. Anything can set people off. And then when they decide to play a game like Dota, all it takes is just for one comment to cause the volcano to fully erupt. But it's not even a comment, it's not even the text chat. They got tipped, and then they got chat wheeled, and then the game was paused to make fun of them. Do you see now why I say that Dota is so special in its ability to just royally piss you off if you're not ready for it? And to cap off this entire section, Dota doesn't have a surrender feature. So you're just stuck there. If your teammates are toxic, your enemies are toxic, congratulations, you're stuck in that match and there's nothing you can do about it. And by the way, the average Dota match averages out to 45 minutes. But it's not unheard of for games to go on for hours. Doesn't sound like the most pleasant time, does it? Valve is notoriously hands-off with their games and their community for the most part. They don't really moderate nor censor in-game chats unlike other games. Shout out to NetEase and Marvel Rivals for their love of the Taiwanese people. I know that Valve is aware that toxicity happens in their games, but at the same time, that's just inevitable. If you have an online game, if you have an online competitive game, that's going to happen. Trying to brand your game as super community friendly like it's Weenie Hut Juniors will just make your game all the more embarrassing for whenever toxicity eventually ends up happening. I'm not saying that we should commend Valve for creating such a inhospitable gaming environment for its players, but at the same time, if you really think about it, toxicity is just another form of passion, am I right? Yeah, I'm probably just coping. Like I said in my previous video, my standards for online gaming was set by Dota. And if you can survive this ocean of dog shit, you can survive anything. You can survive other MOBAs, competitive shooters. Hell, I've survived Rust for hundreds of hours and it totally didn't get to me. Allegedly. I'll admit, some parts were a bit of a blur, but I survived Rust. And to end this video, I just have one more thing to say. In my previous video, which did get a shit ton of views, thank you all for watching that, by the way. It's my most viewed video now on the channel, so thank you a lot for watching that. Anyway, in that video, I made the claim that I have never crashed out. I've never rage quit. I never slammed my desk. And some people in the comment section found that rather hard to believe. Number one, let me assure you, when I see clips like this, the only thing that these gamers are lacking is a clown wig and nose. This is just embarrassing and really cringy if you're watching this happen in real time. And if there's one thing I strive to be in my life, it's not to be cringe. Allegedly. I'll leave that up to you for whether or not I'm succeeding. I really don't understand the mindset of getting this angry, this heated in a video game. Of course, I understand that it's a more deep-seated issue when it comes to stuff like this. Usually they might have things going on in their personal lives. They might have some trauma or some problems which bleeds into their gaming lives. But to those people who think I'm lying, let me assure you, I have never gotten this angry in any video game in my entire life. I can get frustrated, sure. I might curse every now and then, sure, we all do. But there's a stark difference from being frustrated and exasperated compared to this.
God fucking damn you, Activision! You greedy motherfuckers! I'm trying to make a fucking living here, and you fucking greedy corporate fucks can suck on my fucking 18-inch cock! Fuck you guys, dude! Seriously! Fuck Activision, dude! You guys are fucking bullshit, dude! You greedy motherfuckers, dude! You guys are fucking dog shit, dude! I cannot believe that. 2 fucking games in a row, Activision. I'm trying to do my goddamn job. Why don't you fucking invest some money for fuck's sake? 2 games in a row! In the biggest fucking tournament! You guys are fucking stupid!
Don't believe me? That's fine. Go watch my live streams, that way you can see it for yourself. And this is totally not bait to get you guys to watch my live streams and engage in my content. Anyway, to end this video, I just want to say that I hate and love that Valve facilitates such a unique gaming experience and environment for its players. All of these tools that Valve added, on paper, were technically meant to be a positive thing. But of course, gamers being gamers, twisted these things to allow some of the most toxic, passive-aggressive or just full-on aggressive things that they can do to their fellow gamers in any given moment of a game. If Valve was any other developer, they would have removed these features if they saw what players were doing to each other. But they don't. I think they know that no matter how angry we get in the moment whenever we are being bombarded with tips and chat wheels and the such, these things ultimately make the game unique, make it special. There is an actual argument to be made that OG was able to win TI9 because it legitimately might have caused the enemies to play suboptimally.
Any chat wheel? Any chat wheels today, guys? Chat wheel. I'm the content. What's it called? Nigeria, the Baba. Yes, any chat wheels today? I'm choosing the pool. Pool is the thing over there. Like, you know what cooking? Yeah, cooking. Yeah, that's kind of like a Ready? Let's fucking go, boys. Let's fucking go. Oh no, dude, I don't have my chat wheel. No. You have to restart Dota this year. Playing finals without my chat wheel, man. Hell no.
You know what's cooking. You know what's cooking. You know what's cooking. You know what's cooking. Ooh, right here, Baba.
If they annoy you muting, I think it's fun. I knew them, but it's funny.
I have no evidence to prove this, but I would like to believe that it's true. And if it is true, then these guys won the biggest prize pool in gaming history because they were spamming random Filipino voice lines for the world to see. And that is all the convincing I need for these features to stay permanently in Dota. What do you think, Internet Wanderer? Do you think that these features are a good thing? I personally think they're great, and I would love to see Valve's future games like Deadlock having them at some point. Thanks for watching, Internet Wanderer. Do the YouTube things.
На сайте Банка России проходит онлайн-голосование за дизайн будущих 500-рублевых купюр. На лицевой стороне, скорее всего, окажется Академическая галерея Пятигорска. Она лидирует с огромным отрывом, и тут вроде бы установился консенсус. А вот оборотная сторона взбудоражила всю Россию. Ноздря в ноздрю идут комплекс небоскребов Грозный Сити и гора Эльбрус. У обоих больше 1 миллиона голосов. У ближайшего конкурента, Дербентской крепости, менее 130 тысяч. Глава Чечни Рамзан Кадыров мобилизовал на голосование всю свою республику и, похоже, многочисленных ботов. Он в открытую призывает голосовать с разных аккаунтов, также запустил соответствующий хэштег и объявил о розыгрыше 10 айфонов. Выглядит так, будто тут решается вопрос государственной важности. За Эльбрус и против Кадырова, в свою очередь, голосуют сотни тысяч россиян из других регионов. К ним примкнули некоторые лидеры мнений. Например, Владислав Дованков устроил собственный розыгрыш среди голосующих за Эльбрус. В соцсетях разошелся мем о чрезмерном внимании к голосованию с картинками «Бурлаки на Волге» и «Свобода, ведущая народ». Однако мы иронизировать над активностью граждан не будем. Вместо этого поговорим о том, зачем Кадырову 500 рублей и почему многие люди не просто против, но это свое «против» активно демонстрируют. Только прежде чем начнем, в описании, как обычно, наша инструкция по обходу блокировок. Мы ее регулярно обновляем и смотрим, чтобы все работало. Чтобы YouTube ускорялся и WhatsApp звонился. А спонсором этой рубрики выступает MaxSwap, выпускающий виртуальные криптокарты, с которыми можно оплачивать подписки и платить за границей, как карты зарубежного банка обычно. Ссылка на MaxSwap в описании. Российское общество последние четверть века находится в искусственно созданном и совершенно перевернутом, ненормальном положении. Жители России фактически на 100% грамотные. По большей своей части это городские жители. 56% взрослых у нас с высшим образованием. То есть выше, чем в США и в большинстве стран в Западной Европе этот показатель. Заметный отрыв по этому показателю есть только у Канады. Там 62% взрослых с высшим образованием. Все остальные западные страны либо ниже, либо на нашем уровне. Без малого 70% работающих россиян заняты в сфере услуг. Мы даже приблизительно не страна рабочих и крестьян. Не страна тех, кто пашет на земле или в горячем цеху от рассвета до заката, не имея возможности задуматься об общественно-политическом. Мы страна образованных городских жителей, абсолютное большинство которых занято какой-то формой труда, не связанной с тяжелыми физическими нагрузками ради выживания. У абсолютного большинства наших граждан есть время и желание читать новости, узнавать, что происходит в мире и в стране, пропускать эту информацию через себя и делать выводы, чтобы в результате формулировать собственное мнение по широкому кругу вопросов. Как социум мы более всего похожи на самые развитые и либеральные демократии. Если представить себе сетку координат, где общества расположены и часто даже сгруппированы по социальным маркерам, типа образованию, потреблению, образу жизни, ценностям, где с одной стороны будут условные Норвегия и Швейцария, а с другой Северная Корея и Эритрея, то с первыми мы просто сольемся в одну точку. Мы настолько далеко от новых союзников российского государства и настолько ближе к Западной Европе, что с последними нас в таком графике отдельно вообще будет не рассмотреть. У члена такого общества, как наше, самая естественная потребность не только знать, что происходит вокруг него, но и на все это влиять. Наш человек справедливо считает себя в состоянии разобраться, что лучше для его города, района, региона, страны. Считает, что его мнение должно быть учтено, что он не ребенок, который нуждается в попечении мудрого царя-батюшки и милостных бояр. Ведь он точно не хуже их всех умеет читать, писать и соображать. При этом система власти у нас выстроена так, словно у нас не то что постиндустриальной, но даже индустриальной революции не случилось, и аристократия правит в крестьянской державе. Правит на том основании, что она образованное сословие, а 95% подданных не... собственное имя написать и верить, что засуха пришла из-за девок, которые до свадьбы по парням бегают. Будто властвуют наши просвещенные правители над дикой и первобытной массой, которая своего блага не понимает и на первых же свободных выборах вернет человеческие жертвоприношения, например. Российскому гражданину последовательно отрезают возможность влиять хоть на что-то в масштабах не то что страны, но даже родного района. Выясняется, что недостаточно просто отобрать у людей выборы президента и парламента. Недостаточно назначить губернаторов и сторожить выборы в региональные собрания. Даже у поселка городского типа во Владимирской области нужно отобрать возможность избирать себе главу. У этого главы уже и так забрали бюджеты и полномочия, он и так уже фигура номинальная. Но и так уже давно все решают за него сверху, поставить лавочку или покрасить школу. Но даже это недостаточная степень контроля. Пускай должность сведена к номиналу, но все равно не людям решать, будет на ней Иванов или Сидоров. Это решат в Кремле. Понятно, что такой разрыв между уровнем развития общества и примитивностью системы управления не может не бросаться в глаза, даже если люди сами для себя это так не формулируют. Просто когда вы видите, что Теслу запрягли тройкой лошадей, тогда вы, даже не разбираясь в машинах, понимаете, что-то здесь не так. Наши образованные люди прекрасно осознают, когда в условную Курскую область присылают некомпетентного обмутка Хинштейна, который никогда ничем не руководил и к области не имеет никакого отношения, громко бардаку этому возмущаться, во-первых, реально опасно, а во-вторых, бессмысленно. Поголовно грамотные, высокообразованные и интересующиеся окружающей реальностью люди, формирующие собственное мнение, наши эти люди понимают, сейчас политический протест гарантированно возымеет самые негативные последствия лично для них. И что гораздо хуже, гарантированно не преуспеет. Люди готовы заниматься чем-то с риском получить дубиной, но только незаведомо бессмысленными делами. Именно поэтому столь драматичными становятся выборы, которые на первый взгляд кажутся полной нелепицей. Начиная с выбора талисмана Новосибирского зоопарка, продолжая детским голосом и победой дочери Алсу, заканчивая выбором дизайна купюр. Кому, казалось бы, не все равно? Кто в состоянии сходу вспомнить, какие города изображены на каждом номинале российских банкнот? Даже когда они ежедневно лежали в кошельках, их никто особо не изучал. А теперь, когда мы платим карточками, телефонами, стикерами и кольцами, улыбками и переводами, то тем более, кому дело какое до банкнот? Мне кажется, в основном, если кто и вспомнит что, то только Владивосток 2000. Ну и то совсем не в контексте купюры.
Бьется родная, в экстазе худая, Владивосток 2000.
О том, что изображено на российских деньгах в реальной жизни, задумывается столько же граждан, сколько граждан Евросоюза знают занимательный факт про мосты, которые нарисованы на евро, которые не существуют в природе и просто являются символом единой Европы, дабы никого не выделить и не обидеть. Что там нарисовано на пятихатке, которую вы, не глядя, вытащите из кармана, чтобы заплатить за ту самую так любимую рекламодателями чашку кофе? Вот уж действительно большая общественная проблема. А вот оказывается, что большая. Оказывается, люди там, где могут повлиять на ситуацию, стараются влиять на нее изо всех сил. Тем более в данном случае вздорное это голосование собрало в себя массу самых разных политических смыслов, которые ушли гораздо дальше денег. Навязать россиянам свою волю собирается не абы кто, а Рамзан Кадыров, ходячее кривое зеркало путинизма. Никем не избранный, назначенный Путиным отморозок, который с нескрываемым презрением относится не то что к российскому законодательству, написанному на бумаге, но вообще к любым нормам приличия, который угрожает и запугивает, который, возглавляя самый нищий регион страны, живет не хуже саудовского шейха, раздаривает своим родственникам дворцы и Роллс-Ройсы за счет бюджета, вешает своему малолетнему сыну, известному только избиением подследственного в тюрьме, государственные должности и награды. Кадыров со своим стилем правления абсолютно не соответствует ни обществу, ни времени, в котором живет. Весь этот чеченский беспредел творится только потому, что никем не избранная власть его назначила беспредельщиком, позволила ему творить беззаконие. Найти момент, где такого пассажира можно красиво прокатить, где можно безопасно сказать «Что ты обо всем этом думаешь?», не позволить лишить себя права принимать решения, это очень дорогого стоит. И граждане за эту возможность радостно цепляются. Россияне не только массово голосуют на сайте Банка России, но вовсю рисуют собственные эскизы. Мы тут собрали несколько вариантов с сайта Пикабу. Есть нейтральный с семьей бобров. Пользователь уверяет, такая банкнота поддержит в России семейные ценности. Топовый пользователь Ферятиев вызвал фурор, предложив такой вот эскиз. 500 рублей ощущается как 200. Юзер Батрай выложил макет купюры с портретом Набиуллиной достоинством в 499 рублей. Такой, мол, в магазине расплачиваться удобнее. А вот 500 рублей, на которых буквально изображены 500. С медом и пчелой из деревни дураков. Есть также альтернативный вариант с Эльбрусом. Это ведь не только гора в России, но и отечественный процессор. Живущий во Владивостоке блогер Ча, только гора в России, но и отечественный процессор. Живущий во Владивостоке блогер Чарли, выходец из Конго, предложил изобразить на купюре себя с банкой маринованных бананов. В комментариях его, кстати, поддержали. Ну и всеобщую поддержку получил макет с мемом. Вот ваша зарплата, но это же ветка. Может, действительно стоило устроить всероссийский конкурс. Люди у нас могут интересное предложить, было бы из чего выбирать. Но теперь уж есть что есть. Голосование на сайте ЦБ продолжается, вроде как с ботами там стали бороться со вчерашнего дня. Проголосовать все еще можно. До завтра.
Let me down, Kerplunkatron.
Hey Internet Wanderer, do you want to know what it's like to play a real-time strategy game? Allow me to demonstrate.
Some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice I am willing to make. Let the tournament begin!
No, they're Sherman tanks. No, the knights. Who would win? A knight or a tank?
fuck? Goddamn pigs, man. But essentially, this is where it all started. These heroes are awesome. They should make a game about them.
Silent!
Cleanup sequence.
Dota 2, League of Legends, Mobile Legends, Heroes of New Earth, Heroes of the Storm, and even Pokemon Unite. All of these games are all MOBAs, which stands for Multiplayer Online Battle Arena. However, personally, I prefer the lesser-used genre name of ARTS, or Action Real-Time Strategy. Of course, I still use the term MOBA since it's more widespread, but for a while, and for the most part, these two terms are interchangeable. And there actually is a reason why I think ARTS is a better genre name, because the term MOBA is super vague and could apply to almost any multiplayer game. Smash Brothers, Counter-Strike, Battlefield, War Thunder, FIFA, fucking Garfield Kart. If you take the name MOBA literally, all of these games can fit that category. Anyway, back on topic, the MOBA genre is the child of the real-time strategy genre, which is most evident by the top-down view and right-clicking to move your character that most traditional MOBAs have. And like I said before, ARTS and MOBAs could have been used interchangeably for the most part. However, with every new MOBA that we get nowadays, I feel like the RTS DNA is being removed more and more. For example, League of Legends, Mobile Legends, and Pokemon Unite are fully embracing the A and have kind of given up on the RTS. Hell, nowadays you even have third-person MOBAs, and you can forget ever calling these things RTS related. Most unaware gamers wouldn't even realize that this...
Oh, and they have more? I think I lost. I got fucking rushed, man.
...is closely related to this.
I should back, probably, right? That would be the smart...
Do you not have a lighter?
I do.
You greedy hoe.
No! No!
Oh, bad.
And therein lies the point of this entire video. Between Twitch reflex MOBAs like League of Legends and third-person shooter hybrids, the first MOBA, and coincidentally the last of its kind, is the only one that can truly claim to deserve the title of Action RTS.
What does a hero truly mean?
And that game is Dota 2.
Okay. That is for you to decide.
Hey Internet Wanderer, my name is Argonex. On this channel, thanks for clicking on this video. I would also like to express my gratitude and highlight Dota 2 PowerPoints for featuring in this video. This is actually the first time I've ever collabed with somebody on their channel.
Hello, Argo viewers.
Link below to their channel in the video description. They make amazing Dota 2 content, would highly recommend. And I totally didn't steal his video idea. Now, just an additional disclaimer. Despite how I'm framing the main topic of this video, I am not saying that Dota is inherently better than these other MOBAs. Just because Dota has a greater emphasis on micro-strategy does not mean it is a better MOBA. If you enjoy League of Legends or Smite for its faster-paced gameplay, all power to you. I'm more so making this video primarily as a person who is nostalgic for the RTS games of old. And I just wanted to highlight that, to me, Dota 2 seems to be the only MOBA that shows off its RTS heritage. So, heads up, I will be doing quite a few comparisons to other MOBAs in this video in order to get my point across. I will try my best to minimize the Riot Games bullying. No promises though. So, let's get some of the painfully obvious things out of the way. One aspect about Dota that truly shows its lineage as an RTS MOBA. Do you want to know what it is? I guarantee you it's going to be something you haven't thought about. Yeah, dragging your mouse to make a selection box. To my knowledge, I don't think any other MOBA lets you do this. I'm fairly confident Heroes of New Earth lets you do this, but that's basically because that game is Dota 1.5.
New Earth. Shutdown in 22.
Whereas every other top-down MOBA, I'm fairly sure does not have the option to make a selection box. League of Legends doesn't happen. Any MOBA that's played on the phone, there's no way. And you can forget about third-person MOBAs. Sure, in the grand scheme of things, this is not a big deal, but I think that this selection box is indicative of any game that's trying to say that it has the DNA of an RTS game. Dota allows you to control multiple sets of units. Whereas in other top-down MOBAs, you quite literally cannot unselect your playable character. There are systems within Dota 2 that actively facilitate the usage of micro-intensive play. For example, the ability to make control groups. This is something any RTS player will instantly recognize. There are entire segments in the Dota 2 Options tab, purely dedicated for helping the player control other units. Take for example, this hotkey. Hell, this footage that I'm showing off right now of me controlling a shit ton of units isn't even an exaggeration. As pointed out by my dedicated YouTube member, Rai Guy, on my Discord. You should join, by the way, both the YouTube membership and Discord. Links below. Also, YouTube added this hype button. I have no idea what it does, so help me out and hype this video up, would you? Thank you. In a game of Dota 2, if 4 of your teammates disconnect and abandon the match, you, as the sole remaining player, can control their heroes and possibly, legitimately, win a 1v5 game.
It's the anime battle we've been waiting
Water
for.
comes in many flavors
yeah,
to the
dude.
discerning
Fuck yeah, the
palate.
disconnected guy versus
Mondstadt's water is
the one guy on Dire
pure.
that's there.
Is he winning this?
Yeah.
Oh my god, because Bloodseeker's in the game. Dude, are you serious?
Actually making use of his disconnected guy.
What the fuck?
Global aura, very nice.
Now that's kinda unrealistic, but there is a precedent. In a high-stakes tournament with a prize pool of 100k, renowned Dota 2 pro player No-Tail was able to win a tournament when his teammate disconnected, a 4v5.
See if they get a good fight in this bottom lane. Moon found, and Fisher immediately land a miracle. He is pretty damn tanky though. RP actually catches 2. Snowball might just be able to turn this one around, but the Echo Slam gets laid out, and bye-bye Rubik. And now the toss turnaround. They're gonna go on to J4. Big Num stunned. Somebody stop him. Actually, Crit coming in. Big Daddy's healing himself up. And now with the extra bit of damage, maybe they can win this fight. J4's drop low. Toss up in the air is enough to be able to finish him off. Big Daddy needs to get out though. He's left alone. The Centaur's already retreated. The extra bit of damage. Blink away soon in a second. Oh, he gets out. Cheshire Cat. He's running him down, and Centaur managed to get the kill on Ditchia Raw. That was a great fight.
But I'm getting ahead of myself. If I'm gonna talk about Dota 2's micro mechanics, I should give you a demonstration of something a little more basic. For a more realistic example and showcase about what I'm yapping about, here's Warlock from Dota 2. His ultimate is called Chaotic Offering. It summons a big fuck-off golem from hell that you can directly control. 2 golems if you have Aghanim Scepter, 4 with a Refresher Orb, 5 if you die. Now, on the surface, Annie from League of Legends is rather similar with her ultimate, Summon Tibbers. They're both big flaming minions who cause a ground explosion when they're summoned. The main difference between these two is how you control them. You see, in League of Legends, you can maybe control one other unit other than your playable character. So if Annie has Tibbers, Ivern has Daisy, Shaco has his clone, but all these characters control their summons all the same way. You don't right-click with them, you don't select them with your mouse or click another button. They're all controlled by moving your mouse and then pressing the ultimate button. All other summons in this game cannot be directly controlled, only influenced. And this isn't exclusive to League of Legends. Hera from Smite is similar. She also summons a big bodyguard called Argus, but she doesn't control it directly. She can only tell it where to go or who to attack by pressing the R button again.
Hera can either manually control Argus by refiring the ability, or Hera can recall Argus to his side where he will attack anyone that gets too close.
This is a limitation in this game since, again, you quite literally cannot unselect your playable character. You know League of Legends is cooked when controlling the Amazon delivery courier in Dota requires more micro skill than any of these so-called summoner champions. Summoner's Rift? More like summoners can't do shit.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Sorry, I'm letting my anti-Riot Games bias show again. I understand that learning all of these game systems, mechanics, and little nuances can be a very daunting task for any player, even an RTS player looking to get into Dota. But I think Dota 2 has quite a few ways to help ease players into controlling characters other than their selected hero. And this is where I think Dota 2 PowerPoint might have some slides to share with you all. Take it away, man.
Thank you so much for attending my PowerPoint presentation on micro. Not just for boomers. To newer players, the concept of controlling more than just your hero sounds terrifying, but Dota does a really good job of teaching players how to micro without them even realizing it. The game puts simple controls for the courier on the screen at all times, but if you want to send it to the alternate store or stop it from being ruthlessly murdered by enemy heroes, you have to take manual control of it. This gives every hero a baseline level of micro, but it's not the only stepping stone to learn. Heroes like Witch Doctor and Shadow Shaman can use simple micro skills to optimize their ultimates, which are small opportunities to explore the concept. Above that, players can move on to heroes like Enigma, who have multiple units but can be treated like a single giant mass. From there, you have Enchantress, who can control units with abilities, Terrorblade, who is a constant spawn of controllable illusions, and Brewmaster, who temporarily controls several mini-heroes. If you really like flexing your micro skills on the less mechanically able, you can pick a hero like Meepo, who involves controlling 4 different heroes, all with their own cooldowns, spread out across the entire map, and if you ever let any of them die, the rest die with them. In short, Dota lets you crawl, walk, run, or even hit the Dougie at your own pace, and will reward you every time you take another step. Now, dying horribly is a necessary part of learning micro, but it's not the only way to make future adventures easier. The Dota 2 settings menu, which is a total ripoff of Deadlock's by the way, includes dozens of toggles and options designed to make micro easier. If you want to use your toaster to select your courier, there's probably a way to do it. Control groups are another bit of RTS DNA still raging inside of Dota. These allow you to sort controllable units into groups during a game, which can help you make adjustments on the fly. There's also the option of using unified orders, which just makes everything do the same thing at the same time. The game wants you to learn, even if you never plan on picking Meepo or Chen or any of those super scary micro heroes. It may seem intimidating at first, but the giant settings menu is Dota's method of meeting you halfway when it comes to learning micro. I wrote a little bit about how Dota 2 still feels like a mod. Feel free to read it if you like. In conclusion, micro is a rewarding skill, and you should absolutely learn it. Maybe you'll discover that you were really born to play StarCraft, and you'll go on to win tens of hundreds of dollars in prize money. Thank you very much for having me on, Argo, and peace on planet Earth.
There are many micro-intensive and summoner-style heroes in Dota. I won't go into super detail about each and every of them, however, I will give a short description about the notable ones. Arc Warden, who summons a perfect clone who has the same spells and items as you. If you see this guy in your pub match on the enemy team, he is most definitely a Smurf. Brewmaster, who splits into 4 pandas. Each and every single one of them are the bane of my existence. Lone Druid, a hero who is actually 2 heroes in one. He summons a bear companion who also has a full inventory, allowing him to have 2 Hand of Midases to grief your team with. Phantom Lancer makes a few illusions, nothing major. In fact, let's play a little game. Which of these Phantom Lancers is the real one? Okay, how about now? How about now? One of them is the real one. Only God knows which one, though. And then we have Chen. He's a hero who starts off with a jungle monster companion, and over the course of the game, you can convert other jungle monsters under your control. By the end, you can have 1 creep in each of the 3 lanes, another creep bodyguarding your carry, and Chen himself bodyguarding the mid player. Yes, I understand that this example isn't necessarily realistic. All 7 of you Chen mains can put the pitchforks down, but you get my point. The ability to control multiple units across the battlefield, with battles and little skirmishes happening all at the same time with little micro decisions in one part of the map, and then you have to make another decision on the other part of the map. This is the spirit of RTS that I truly believe that Dota can still encapsulate. And if you think that Chen's little jungle monsters are just mindless units that you A-click down a lane, think again. In case you guys didn't know, every single jungle monster in Dota 2 has their own unique abilities and spells. All of these abilities are comparable, and some might even argue stronger than some hero abilities. And Chen has full access to all of them. Now, obviously, not all Dota heroes are micro-intensive heroes like these guys, but a lot of them are, and a lot of these micro-intensive or summoner-style heroes get a lot of time on the spotlight. Anywhere from lowly pubs fighting in the Herald ranks to pro players microing the fuck out in one of the largest esports tournaments of the world. And having these micro-intensive heroes kinda represent the RTS genre in spirit is an awesome thing to see. I played a lot of RTS games growing up. However, for the sake of context, I do need to state that I never played RTS games competitively. Hell, I never even took them seriously when I did play them. Whenever competitive RTS games like StarCraft were at their prime, I was just a smooth-brained child who could barely comprehend video games. It's probably for that reason why I enjoy playing RTS games like Command & Conquer Generals, Empire Earth, and Age of Mythology, because these games weren't competitively viable. These games have entire branches of units that are basically memes or just completely useless, but hey, it's fun. I'll take a fun, unbalanced RTS over a competitively viable, hyper-serious RTS any day of the week. The closest that I ever got to a competitive RTS experience was when I was chilling with a friend in a cyber cafe, and for some reason, he challenged this Korean guy who would also frequent this cafe into a 2v1 match. Him versus the two of us.
Alright. Finally I'm free to do what I must do, which is actually sleep. Thanks for watching. If you have been, good luck, fun, and see you.